What's going on, everyone? Alex De Silva, happy as Larry Group. I hope you are well and welcome to the Feel Good Show. I hope you're having an amazing day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. I know that times at the moment are tough. Things are very uncertain. We don't know what's happening from one day to the next. Every conspiracy theorist thinks they know something, and there are a lot of mixed messages coming from COVID-19, 5G, and people in the middle. And one of the things that I realized, Lucy and I realized, we talk and share a lot of ideas, and it's really interesting that it doesn't matter what's coming out of the woodworks at the moment. It's so hard to believe what's true and what's not. But what's also happening as well is that it's continuously and consistently driving fear into people. And we need less of that. So I wanted to share something with you guys, and I wanted to talk to you. It was a continuous topic that kind of came up through late last week and this week so far. And I've realized that we are going through a really tough grieving process. What's happening to us at the moment globally is very traumatic. This has never happened to us before, other than the world wars that happened way before my time. And we have never had to experience something like this before. We have never had to quarantine and isolate and be told where we can and can't go. And one minute we are given privileges, the next minute they get taken away, and everything is for our safety. And it seems to be very fear driven. So what happens, what I've realized, and I've experienced this as well, which is one of the reasons I wanted to talk about it, is I've realized that the experiences that we are having, and some of the experiences that I've had, are very, very similar to grieving. And now, because of the process that we're going through and the things that we're experiencing, as we get deeper and deeper, and further along into this process, this global pandemic, what's happening is that we go through, I say, about 6 stages of a grieving process. And when this thing first started, it was very interesting because the first stage is shock. That's the first thing we experience, is shock. Shock to the system, shock to the brain, and we don't know what's going on, what's going to happen. Is it coming towards us? Is it going to come here? Is it just going to stay in China? And, it's a huge shock to start with. And then very, very quickly, it starts to spread. And it starts to spread to Europe, it starts to spread to the US, and now this is global. So it's a huge shock to us in every single way. And the next stage is denial and isolation. We start to go through that process of, which I know I did, this will pass, it will be fine, look, China's already on the other side, everything is okay, don't worry about it, it will all be fine, and just denying the fact that this could be something huge. I don't know anybody that's got it, do you? I remember going through that process and people sharing this on social media. It was huge. And then people were also then comparing it to the flu. More people die of flu than they do of this, or they have of this, of this virus. And then as soon as we then start to then creep in, as time then goes on, we then fall into the next category, which is anger and resentment. We start to feel angry about the whole situation. We start to feel resentful towards the governments, get resentful and angry towards China. Did it start in China? Did it start somewhere else? Is it their fault? Is it the government? Is it global? Is it America? Is it? And we go through these emotional processes of feeling very, very angry and very, very resentful. We're being told that all of a sudden we have to isolate. We can't go anywhere. You're going to have to be at home. If you've got a cough, if you've got a cold, you need to self-isolate. First, it was a week. Then it was 2 weeks. And then it was 12 weeks. So, things kept changing because they were putting together measures to make sure that it was safe, not just us, but vulnerable people, not just people of age, but people who have low immune systems, people that may have had health problems before, because this will affect them. And we started to feel angry and resentful because all of a sudden our livelihood then starts to get taken away. So what do we do next is we start bargaining. We start bargaining with the current situation. Well, maybe I can go out for a little bit, maybe I can still go to work, 2, maybe 3 times a week, maybe I can still socialize with close friends. Maybe I can still socialize with close family. One of the things that I kind of laughed at myself and then realized afterwards, thank goodness it didn't happen, was, we used the if only. Oh, if only I can go to work for 3 days. If only I socialize with just close family. If only I just socialize with close friends. If only I see my boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever it is. If onlys. These if onlys all of a sudden become our bargaining tools. And what we do then is we keep spreading, and that line becomes, invincible. We cross that threshold, and these, if onlys, these bargaining tools, that we keep using, they just get longer and longer, and they get more and more ridiculous, as we've all seen, right? So it was interesting because one of my if only was, I love training. I love training, as some of you know through previous episodes. I love CrossFit, and I've been really looking forward to this year. Nobody came into this year thinking, we're going to get smacked in the face by a global virus. I was training for competition, from a business perspective. We came in very optimistic and, really looking forward to the year. We had so many strategies in place and so many things happening. And all of a sudden, all of these things got taken away. So these if onlys were, well, if only we see a few clients, or, if only, we can still go to the gym. I said to my coach, I said, well, what about if we just, if only a few of us go training? Or what if I just get a group of 2, 3 of us? Or what if you and I train together? And these were the if onlys. And very quickly we'd realized that, these weren't bargaining tools. We couldn't afford to do that. And as we see now, and as we see today, things have changed very, very quickly. The numbers have gone high, things have changed, and, more and more people are being affected, and tougher measures are being put in place. But these are the stages that we go through. And the next stage, which I knew was going to happen because of what we do, dealing with emotional intelligence, mental health, and addiction, having experienced this personally and doing this on a professional level, we knew that Lucy and I had talked about it from the beginning. Oh man, this is going to really start to affect people. This is going to take its toll for people that don't know how to deal with this. We are very blessed. We're very, very lucky that we have daily tools and techniques that we put into place every single day to help us in these situations. And the next stage is depression, stress, and anxiety. You've just lost your job. Your business is about to go under. Whatever the situation may be. Somebody in your family is ill. You are ill. So imagine how this is going to be, how this is going to affect you from a mental and a wellness perspective. Depression, no doubt, is going to kick in. Stress. I definitely felt stress. I definitely felt anxious at times, thinking, wow, we've just had to close our office. What are we going to do? At one point, when we shut the office down, all of our clients had to go. We can't see clients. So what do? We weren't really, we were just starting to build our online business, our online courses. And so for a split moment, we panicked. Thankfully, I've been working with the client, but then unfortunately, that came to an end as well. So, I started to feel a little bit depressed because I thought I failed. I thought, I failed. What am I going to do? This is my fault. I'm the breadwinner. Not that there was any pressure added on me by Lucy. Thankfully, our relationship is we come together. We don't fall apart. We come together and we glue and we stay strong. And what we did very well is we took stock, we assessed the situation, we put together a new strategy, and slowly we've been executing. You know, she's turned her clients online. Thankfully, most of them, I think, if not even all, have come back. We've managed to, put some little ads here and there, and they are starting to kind of draw in some business as well online. So we were able to change, but it does affect us. It affected her. It affects me, and that stage can be a stage. And this is one I'm just spending a little bit of time on because I know the effects that stress, anxiety, depression can have on someone, not just in the immediate time, but the long term effects of this can be and will be really, really damaging and very, very serious. So, as you guys know, this isn't a sort of a selling point for me right now, but we have our Happy as Larry Academy, which is www.happyaslaryacademy.com. The reason I want to share that is because we have a COVID-19 mental health toolkit. It's a course which I designed. It's not perfect, but I try to put everything that I could in there to help you. Healthy mind, healthy body, healthy spirit. There are a number of meditations on there. There are tools, techniques to help you with depression, stress, anxiety, how to manage those on a daily basis to kind of keep things at bay. And we've also thrown in some home exercises to keep you fit and healthy, and talked about some nutrition and things that you can do personally to stay in the best possible shape that you can during this time. And the reason I wanted to mention that is because it's completely free. We get absolutely zero from it. I wanted to do it, sharing it wherever I can because I want to try and help as many people as possible. This is completely free. And if anybody who works for the NHS, who's a doctor or nurse, please share this amongst your colleagues, share this amongst your friends and family. I don't often ask or try to sell things, but now more than ever, please share, like, comment on the video, on the audio, wherever you're listening or watching, because this, for me, more than ever, I feel so responsible that I just want to be able to give these tools that are keeping us healthy in mind, body, and spirit. And we do this stuff every day, and it really has helped us to be able to tackle this stage in particular: stress, depression, anxiety, because this is, as I said, it's a real tough time for us, but it's a time that we can get over, and it's a time that we are getting over. Each day is another day forward. So putting these things into place, what happens to us once we've kind of gone through, the first, 5 stages, which is shock, denial and isolation, bargaining, the if onlys, the depression, stress, and anxiety, we then go on to acceptance, accepting where we are. And hopefully most of us are there now, where we just accept that this is what it is. This is the position that we're in at the moment. So what do we do next? Next is about having hope and faith that governments around the world are doing everything that they can. The key workers around the world are doing an absolutely phenomenal job. I cannot stress this enough, how grateful, how blessed, how humbled I am for people like that who keep the supermarkets open, the police, the fire service, the NHS, more importantly, the National Health Service globally, every single nurse and doctor. If there was, if I could just give you all a hug now, I would, just to say thank you to every single one of you who are saving lives and are going through this process more than anybody. This stage that they're going through right now, with the stages that I've just described, imagine these people are going through it every single day, for 12, 14, 16-hour shifts at a time. So it's so important that you understand what these stages mean and what to do through each one of them. And that's what I'm going to go through here. Now, this mental health toolkit, which I described in our academy, it has all the things that you need there to help you to get through each day, to help you to keep a peaceful, calm mind, especially during these stressful times. The times when you are feeling stressed and anxious, we've given you tools and techniques, as I said, that we use, like, gratitude, feeling grateful every single day, positive affirmations. A lot of people who I've previously worked with, including myself, they said, what the hell is this stuff going to do? This is a bit, wishy-washy. Does this stuff actually work? And as soon as I started to try this, as soon as I started to put it into practice, yes, it does. Why? Because you are in control of your brain, and you are telling your brain, you're giving your brain signals, you're giving your brain orders to respond a certain way. And your body responds to how you are. So if you're thinking positively, then that's how your body's going to respond. If you're thinking or behaving negatively, well, that's how your body's going to respond. So these things do work, and they have saved lives. We've been so blessed to hear so many people that we've worked with before tell us, how incredible this stuff is. So meditation is another one which I've mentioned. Doing some form of daily exercise, whether it's walking, running, whatever form of training you do, yoga, engage in something. Why? Because it helps you to, one, stay healthy, but also it builds that immune system, which is what we need. We need to have a strong immune system. So feed yourself healthy foods, eat things that are going to, again, increase your immune systems, drinking plenty of water. So all of these things are going to help you to rebuild everything that you need in order to protect you effectively. So acceptance, hope. There is plenty of hope. We don't really know what's going on at the moment. One day from the next, things do change, but there is always the light at the end of the tunnel. Are we close? We don't know. We can take stock from other countries and stats, but we don't know how accurate they are either. So there is an element of uncertainty, but there is always hope. There is always faith. Why? Because if you look back in history, we've always gotten over every adversity that we've been through, whether it's from a personal perspective, whether it's a worldwide pandemic, we always get through it. And yes, these are very, very testing times, but these are also times when we come together the best. Human beings are phenomenal at coming together and making things work, helping each other get through these dark times, helping each other to reach the end of that tunnel. And, we often say our job is to hold the torch, whilst you're walking through that dark tunnel until you get, towards that light and you can walk the rest of the way yourself. I'm kind of paraphrasing, but, and it's no different now. This is what we're here to do. So being kind, being loving, being compassionate is so important right now for yourself first and foremost. And to be able to help others, to be there for each other. Rebuilding is one of the next, the next stages. So acceptance, hope, and rebuilding. Now, rebuilding, do we have to rebuild anything? For some people, yes. Now I remember when this first started, we would debate on social media. I would see people debating, saying, "Oh, do you know anyone that has, COVID-19? Do you know anyone that has the virus?" I didn't. Now I know a few people, and now I know people whose parents have died from it, and that's the reality. That's just the reality of it, and it makes me realize that, wow, I am so blessed and so grateful that my wife is safe, my daughter's sleeping next door. My daughter and my son are safe. I speak to them regularly. I spoke to my parents a couple of days ago, and they're safe and they're well. I WhatsApp, social media, technology. This is amazing from a positive perspective, where I get to stay in touch with family in Brazil, and friends and other people around the world. So it's phenomenal. So use that. Use the technology that we have for good, for positive. Stay away from negative social media, negative news that are constantly contradicting itself. 1 minute is the virus, the next thing is 5G, the next thing is conspiracy theory, and everybody keeps hearing different stories. And, I always remain with an open mind, and I'm not here to kind of pick a side or another. What I'm always here to do is to make sure that I'm following the right guidelines to keep myself safe. So I've accepted. I have hope that everything will always be okay. Optimism is something that I was born with, and I have abundances of this, which is why I share these things with you, is that stay hopeful. Everything will be okay. We will be okay. We're okay now, if you think about it. Think about where you are right now, whether you're sitting at home, whether you're in the garden, or whether you're just going for your daily walk and you're possibly listening to this. Are you okay? And if you are, then be grateful right now that you are. Because how phenomenal is it that we get to live another day? Unfortunately, there are others who are not going to and who haven't. So that's something to be really grateful and hopeful for. Now, the rebuilding, some people will have to rebuild. And again, that's going to take time. We have to restructure our lives. So many of us have lost jobs, we've lost careers, businesses. I'm so blessed that we still have our business and we still get to do this. I still get to do this with you every day. I am doing more free stuff than I've ever done before because I still love what I do. Money never meant anything to me in the first place. And all of a sudden, I'm not going to stop doing what I love just because I'm not earning. If anything, I'm going to do more and more of it because I love this. And I love giving you little things that help me. And that's all I'm doing. And we're going through this journey together. So I'm hoping that one day when we can look back at this in years to come and say, wow, look at that, we got through it. And, and we did it because we used these tools and these techniques. So restructuring. Some people will have to rebuild. Some people will restructure. Now, restructure, I had to restructure my day. I had to restructure, what I do in a week. I had to restructure my routine, my daily routine. And that's okay. It's just accepting that it is what it is and we can't change that. What we have to do is just make sure that, we are changing positively, that we are restructuring positively, that everything that we're doing every single day will benefit us. And why do I keep saying you and us and me? Because if you do positive things for you, you are going to ripple effect those things out into the world. And at the moment where the world is surrounded with so much negativity, the more positivity we put out there, the vibration of that ripple effects is huge. Try it. If you stood next to someone who's smiling and happy, all of a sudden you can't help but smile and be happy. You can't be happy and sad at the same time. You're watching me smile and be happy, you're going to get it. It's contagious. Like it or not, whether it's on video or audio, I am smiling ear to ear and I want you to do the same. And use that beautiful energy to vibrate love, care, health for yourself every single day. One of the first things I say to myself when I wake up, that's one of my first affirmations. I have a few, but my first affirmation is I love my life. And I get goosebumps now just saying it because I love my life. Even with what's going on at the moment, I love my life because I'm blessed to be here. And the next thing I say, which is a gratitude, is thank you. Thank you for the world. Thank you to God. Thank you to the higher powers. Thank you for giving me another day. Because the fact that I get to open my eyes and I can see and I can hear, I can smell, I can talk, I can touch. I'm here to serve another day. And if you're listening, if you're watching, so are you. So practice these things every day. By practicing these things every day, what you're doing is you're going through these stages of grief. And what you're doing is you're coming out the other side so much stronger. Not from a sense of you're having to kind of learn or grow or develop in any way in pressure, but from kindness, from self-love and self-care. And now more than ever is such a great time where we can actually do that. How often have we just gone on about the day, the week, the year, the years, the months, where we were so focused on our jobs and everything else that was going around you, our families, boyfriends, girlfriends, kids, friends, everything else, because we often focus on everything externally, but we completely forget about ourselves. So this is a time where you can read and you can write and you can relax and you can meditate and you can pray if you're someone of religion. You can go and just sit in the sun if you have a garden. You can go and read a book. But don't put pressure on yourself. And I've seen posts out there. If you haven't learned this, if you haven't done that, if you haven't grown, if you haven't developed, then you're a failure. No. No. Don't put that pressure on yourself. This is a time for you. This isn't time for you to listen to things like that. This is where you stay away from. That kind of negative stuff, stay away from that. Negative people too. This is your time more than ever, rebuilding, restructuring you as an individual, how you want to be in your time. And here's a teller. How do I know I'm doing it right? Because it makes you feel good. Because everything you do from love, from kindness, from compassion makes you feel good. If you're doing it from anger, from resentment, from being hateful, that leaves a sour taste and a disgusting feeling inside you. It does. I think everybody knows, right? That's how you know the difference. And I always say that to people, because people sometimes they don't know the difference and they don't know whether they're doing something right or wrong. And well, how does it make you feel? How are you experiencing it? And if you're experiencing it from a positive place, go with it. There's no right or wrong. Remember, stay away from these things that tell you how you should be and how you shouldn't be and how you should feel and how you should look. You can be listening to me, but I'm not telling you what to do. This is completely your choice. But if it's going to make you feel good and it's going to make you grow, learn, grow, and develop as an individual because you want to, then do it. We see people now being DJs and public speakers and TV show hosts, and everyone's got a podcast. And I'm like, people are slating them and saying, oh, the world's got talent now. All of a sudden, everyone thinks they're a celebrity. Excuse my language. Fucking good for you. Good for you. If you're doing it, good for you. If it makes you feel good and that's what your passion is, then good for you, because there is plenty of abundance out there. There is plenty of us that can do whatever we like. And if that's what your passion is, then good for you. If you can motivate somebody, if you can inspire them, then go and inspire them. The more the merrier, because we need more positivity in this world. We need more people to, who want to channel their gifts. If you're a writer, you love writing poems, or you just want to write stories and read them online. Create something, your gift. I remember Steve Harvey said once, your gift will pay forward for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be from a monetary perspective, but just that feeling of just amazingness, and just, that's not even a word, but just, that amazing feeling, just that phenomenal feeling of fulfillment. Just feeling fulfilled because you're doing something that you're so passionate about, that you're so in love with. Use this time to do that. That's what this rebuilding phase is all about. It's not about putting pressure on yourself to learn a new language, to do something that you don't want to do because somebody else is putting pressure on you, or you're watching constant videos that keep telling you, or the message is you're not good enough. Stay away from that. You are good enough. If there is something that's not making you feel good, then remove yourself from that situation. Remember, restructure and start putting things in place that are going to make you feel good, that are going to make you feel good about yourself and everything that you do and everything that you are as an individual. This is that time now. And I think I truly believe this is why the world is going through this stuff, because it's a beautiful phase where we can really, really connect with who we are. And I think it's important for us to be able to do that, but from a gentle time, in a gentle way. So take your time, enjoy this moment, enjoy time with family. I did a live video earlier on today, and you should have seen Ruby was running around. At one point, she got up on the table, but this is it. This is what life is. It's beautiful. Before, I would have got so stressed out, years ago, I would have got so stressed out, and then I was in a very bad place then, mentally, physically, spiritually. Whereas today, my life is so different. And this is why I want to share this experience. I want to share these nuggets with you, because this is how we learn and we grow and we develop all the time. Just being able to listen gently and being able to put things into practice that suits us. Because it's not, one size fits all. But the beautiful thing is these things work for everybody. How you do and which stage you're at, well, that's up to you. But you get to do whatever you want to do, because nobody can tell you what to do apart from you. No one can make you feel good other than yourself. That's completely your responsibility. So enjoy this time. Be kind to yourself. Look after yourself. And remember, this is a tough time for us all. But this is also a really beautiful time. It's a really beautiful time where we can reconnect with who we are as individuals, and we can reconnect with people around us. I've heard on the news a couple of times of people saying, oh, it's going to be a baby boom, but it's also going to be a huge divorce ratio. Why? Because we have to spend time together? I hope it's the baby boom part, that we create more beautiful souls for this incredible planet we live in, and not the latter. People should love being together. If you're married to somebody, if you're in a relationship, love each other, care about each other, spend that time together, talk, get to know each other. Of course, and this is the reality of it. Some of you will realize that you're not with the right person, but that's okay too. Grieving process, I've just given you what those stages are. That's the grieving process. You just go through that process and you work through them. But that's okay. You don't have to hang on to things that you don't like anymore. You don't have to hang on to things that doesn't make you feel good anymore. So I think, what's going on right now is actually a real blessing. It's a real, real blessing. So take that blessing in disguise and make it work for you, however you want it to. But whatever you do, put a positive spin into it. Listen, I hope you got something out of this. And as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And if you could share this again, please like, comment, share. If you're struggling from a mental health perspective, if you want me to go deeper into a particular topic or area, let me know, because I want to be of service to you, especially now. I don't want you to think that you're on your own. So 2 things. Go to our website, www.happyasllarrygroup.com. If you're looking for a therapist, a counselor, or a coach, our services are online, so we can work with you and we can carry on as normal. We're here to serve and to help. As I mentioned, we created a free, completely free mental health toolkit to help you through this tough time. And it's completely free. So just go to happyasllarryacademy.com. So www.happyasllarryacademy.com. You will see it there. It's called COVID-19 Mental Health Toolkit. There are videos there. It's very, very simple. There are downloadables. There are audios that you can listen to as well. So go and do these things for yourself, and obviously help others as well. If there are other people that will benefit from this, then phenomenal. So that's all I ask. I get nothing from this. I don't have sponsors. For us, it's just making sure that we can be of service to you and make sure that you get out of this, you get to the end of that tunnel with us, and we're all strong, we're all happier and more fulfilled off the back of this. So have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in the world. And as always, be great, be fantastic, and be absolutely phenomenal today. And I'll speak to you again very soon. Take care.